Welcome, everyone. I'm Ivy Rivera. I'm a psychic medium, a Taino Airwalk, and this is what blessings are coming your way. So tonight, I'm not taking questions. What you'll do is drop a $10 donation and wait for your name to be called, and then I will tell you whatever blessings are coming your way and when. Now, if you are on Instagram or TikTok, you're not going to be able to see in the description the directions. They don't allow it. So Diana, my beautiful producer, is going to be posting them over and over again in the comment section. And if you are here on YouTube, you could see it right. I believe it's above, not below, but above in the description. So the instructions are all there. So go ahead and start doing that. I do want to give a quick shout out to my fellow Latina queens and Latino kings. You guys are phenomenal. We are built for this fresh hell that we are currently in. I think Latino fatigue has really set in, though, with a lot of people, and we need to examine that. We need to accept it. We need to embrace it. We need to move through it, not get stuck in it. So, I just posted something on Latino fatigue today. Google it, learn about it. I know we are short on actual mental health care, but we are amazing at lightening the mood and fixing it with food, or a party or some dancing or some even dark humor or some drinks. We really can't just be doing that to get through what we're in right now. Okay. We're going to have to feel things and process things. And for anyone who is fighting for our rights, I appreciate you. I see you. It's helping. It's heartwarming. Some days that's all some of us have, okay, is to see these videos of you guys fighting. I can't really express the appreciation. I don't want to get into it today. But also for those of you, if you're on the front lines, if you're not, and you're looking for a way to get your pistol permit, this is the time. And I posted an option if you're in the upstate New York area where you can go for that. Taino Cultural Center. Okay, it's time. But thank you, and everyone hang in there. You're doing amazing, and I love you guys. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. We need this now more than ever. What blessings are coming your way? Who are we starting with? Edgar Velardes. Edgar, what blessings are coming to Edgar and when? Promotion in your speech. Promotion in your speech. There's angelic energy that's channeling through you, and there's angelic information that's channeling to you. Okay, so expect to feel like a vibrating on your crown chakra, where downloads come from the universe. In this case, it is going to be guardian angel type energy. Guardian angel energy is working with mental and emotional well-being for people. Okay. So you're going to be channeling information, and this information is going to help you with any healing. I see some block removal from, looks like 2 different past lives, and something that happened between your 3rd and 4th year of life. It may have peaked again at about 8 years old, 9 years old, definitely 8. You may have also lost someone when you were 7. This is going to be bringing a lot of healing to those areas. So that is a major blessing, because some of this gets so old, it's almost like you can't really heal it on your own anymore. You can't take the normal logical steps or the tools that you typically use in situations like this cease to work. And we don't always know why, but when it's old energy like this, that's often an obstacle. So this is going to be, you could say, cleared out of you. Allow it, honor it, make room for it. The other interesting thing that's happening with this simultaneously, some of it is happening directly after, is that it's almost like angel wings coming out of your mouth. Or like I see birds. Okay, what do birds do? Well, they sing in this case, right? So it's like songs, like you're becoming a songbird. You are telling people what they need to hear. You're setting people free. You are giving healing verbally to individuals who are meant to receive it from you, aren't going to get it from anywhere else, and you are breaking the chains for them. Now, you can't do that type of thing, of course, unless they're ready and unless they're participating in their own evolution, their healing, their freedom, but they are. And you may be giving some healing out to even family systems. All right. So say you're working with a child, but it actually heals the father, or it heals the mother, or frees the mother in some way. Okay. You're healing units, breaking generational curses. Now, the other thing I see with this is some type of almost like a promotion, but this may not necessarily come from your employer as much as it's coming from people watching you and seeing you and benefiting from your presence, or just feeling healing energy from being around you. This is going to include like coworkers, acquaintances, friends, stuff like this. And they're giving you promotional props. Like they're talking about, thank you for the hearts on TikTok. They're talking about how amazing you are. That is a form of promotion. All right. So I would expect this over even the next 2 weeks. Do your thing, shine, take time for your own healing. And when you're detoxing from something, the universe is removing it from you. Have an attitude of gratitude toward that. Try not to let it scare you, because it can be a little overwhelming, and speak your truth. Be authentic, especially if there are any meetings coming up. Okay, when you would normally be reserved or quiet, okay? It's like trumpeting the truth, okay? Let it out, and it will be working highly in your favor. Edgar, enjoy your blessings. All right, we're going to move on to another one. This is going to be for Abby. Abby Hicks. What blessings are coming to Abby? What's a blessing coming to Abby, and when? When? 3 weeks? 3 weeks? Put on the brakes. Get rid of that. You seem to have cut someone off. I can't tell if you cut this one person off at the same time you started saying no to some overbearing authority. This would be something to the tune of, your boss or the company you work for, the system that you work within, coming and being like, here, I'm going to dump all this in your inbox. I'm going to dump all this on your desk, or, on top of your current workload. And you're not going to get extra pay. And, we're not even really going to say thank you. And if you don't do it, you could lose your position. Someone else will come in and take this position happily. It's almost like a threatening type of opportunity for you, just to do more work. And you may have been looking at that in the recent past and saying, I'm not doing this. Don't ask me for anything. I'm not the one. You've misread me, which could be something you said verbally, okay, which is, you're going to have to pay me more for that. Or, you need to energetically reimburse me for that. Or I will walk. I don't want to hear anything more about this. I have other options. You start looking into other options, which is even better, because the universe really rewards you for that heavily. You're not just talking about it. You're actually walking the walk. Wherever you started lying these boundaries down, it is something you've been holding to, and you may have been rattled for a little while. It's almost like, now I did it. Oh my God, I'm feeling a little double-minded. Some time has passed. Things are quiet over there. I'm not sure what's going to come next. I don't know that I want this fight, but sometimes fights pick you. I was just saying this to our, Latino community here. Like sometimes fights pick you. You're right. Generation after generation after generation. And that's your call. This is one, that you're supposed to fight. And I think that has led you to a place where you're turning off that double-mindedness that normally in the past would have caused you to backpedal. Now, what happens from here is that you start to receive some blessings, and you may have also, either right now or this is just about to come in, said to someone in particular, this feels like masculine energy. You're saying to them, This is not something I'm willing to tolerate anymore. And that is the universe's last test for you before you can receive these blessings. So make sure you pass that test, not only in saying to this person, you know, don't come to me that way. You're not paying me enough. This is imbalanced. You have an entitlement attitude with me. You're not bringing enough to the table. However you say and do this, don't forget the second part is holding the line. And the blessings I see coming to you after this are like a washing out. Now, this is coming in more at about 3 weeks out from now. You know, could it come sooner? It could potentially come sooner based on how well you pass this test, how quickly and efficiently you pass this test. But the blessings that are coming to you are going to wash out current circumstances that have been holding you back, blocks and obstacles, some of them that you even forgot about. And you are going to be receiving some blessings and breakthroughs, including networking and partnership opportunities that you couldn't previously have from old things you manifested, old things you worked toward, old things you really wanted that had stalled out. This is huge. The universe has been watching you and waiting on this. Do your part. And here come your blessings. Gorgeous energy. We're going to move on to another one. You know what? I forgot to ask you guys to please give this video a thumbs up. Could everyone stop real quick? Give this video a thumbs up. Drop a comment of any kind. It really does help me out in the algorithm. I appreciate it so much. I would love to hear where you're tuning in from. That would be a great comment to leave. Please leave a testimonial if these messages are resonating with you. Of course, they are predictive, so you may not understand because they aren't here yet, okay? But also subscribe, and please do share this video. There are so many people hurting out there right now who are exhausted, burnt the F out, who need a pick-me-up. Share this video. All right. You're going to hear my stomach rumbling. I am taking my tummy tamer tea, but I did lose like 12 pounds. So all this fasting I've been doing is starting to pay off. So just try to ignore the sound. Melissa Subia. Okay. Melissa Subia. What blessing is coming in for Melissa and when? Between the 5th and the 6th week out from now. And then you get a microphone between the 6th and the 7th month out from now. So these are two different things, but they are connected. So 5 to 6 weeks. Okay. And then at about 7 months. Interesting. 5 to 6 weeks, you get an answer. If you have been waiting on an answer about, I can't prescribe a diagnosis, but like a health situation, some type of answer on anything mental health related also, or here's another way of saying this. It's very possible that if you've been looking at health situation, that it is affecting your mental health. Okay. And it's like, where's the answer? Where's the answer? I'm going to Google it. You know, what do we used to call it? WebMD. I don't know if that's still around. You know, you're looking here, you're looking there, you're talking to professionals, and it's like, yeah, but where's the answer? And they may be, let's say the professionals, again, I can't prescribe a diagnosis, but let's say they're like dragging their feet, or they're shipping you over here and they're driving you over there and they're telling you, sending you over here with a script. It's like, keep looking, this test, that test, this x-ray, that x-ray. It's like, what the hell? Like, how hard could this answer be? They're making it complicated. Okay. It's a for-profit medical system. You better believe. Okay. You're not just going to get your answers with just one paycheck to that doctor. Okay. This is a deliberate system. It is set up this way, not necessarily in this case to exhaust you, but certainly to get that cash, make it look more complicated than what it is. I think that anything you're doing with like Reiki, medical intuitive reads, holistic healing, your own research, which Spirit already mentioned, like you checking out your symptoms, connecting the dots yourself, that's going to give you the mental security and stability that you need in your nervous system to get to that grand finale between 5 and 6 weeks out from now, when you've got your final answers from like the medical field, for example. Okay. And then it's like, we hit the ground running. And this is where the blessings really start to roll in for you, because it's almost like you're waiting on a message, something in the mail, that script. You're waiting on that final word, okay? And it holds so much power. You can move forward in like 3 to 4 other areas of your life, including your finances, resources in general, working with others. So we could be talking about shared income. We could also just be talking about partnerships and networking. Okay. So take it out resonates. You'll see at the time. But I think that's all building up until then. Now, after that, you get a microphone. And this is what's really interesting, because this is where your bigger blessing comes in with all of this. So remember that when you go through anything in life, okay, but certainly something like this that was a little dragged out, we all have stressors. Thank you for the hearts on TikTok. We all have like a bad day, or I hate today, or I'm not getting out of bed today. We all have days. But it's really when something stretches out into weeks or months, okay, that we start talking about long-term karma, long-term blessings, right? The big payouts. And you can count on that if you play your hand right, but you do the work. But in this case, it's coming because from that 5 to 6 week period out from now, when you start to get those answers, and even going back from the time this started for you, you've been doing well. You're already doing well. I can see that you're doing well. So I know you're going to earn this microphone. But when that mic hits 7 months out from now, ballpark, what you're going to find is that you have maybe a ministry, a following, a client base. If there's anything you've been wanting to do, even on social media, literal podcasting, publishing, speaking, teaching, leading, engaging the public, okay? Talking about your wisdom, your healing abilities, your tools and skills are also going to be utilized. So it's like opportunities to speak, lead, communicate are going to be coming into you. And there's no hiding. And I have you loving it, honestly. Okay. And it comes also with financial increase. So beautiful. Thank you. Good luck. We have another one for, these are unlimited. Also tonight. I can't always do that, but I can tonight. So, because we need it. So these are unlimited. So you can, get a couple. I don't remember what I say. Once I say it, it is a form of trance. And so I call it psychic amnesia. And that means that if I'm repeating myself and you've only got one blessing coming, sorry, Charlie, I don't know what to tell you. Okay. I may repeat it and I won't even know that I'm doing that. But I am guiding this so that if there's something else coming in, spirit will tell you. So we've got, Abby just giving a little testimonial here. Abby says, thank you, Ivy. Coming in from the Rockies. Nice. I want to get out there. Your reading gave me the hope I needed. That's beautiful, Abby. Thank you. I'm glad it did. Spread that around. Love it. Love it. Next one up is Manny. Okay. Manny says, hi, Ivy. What blessings are coming my way? Beautiful. Hey, Manny. Good to see you. What blessings are coming in for Manny? What blessing and when? I heard superior position. I don't know if you have 2 kids or 3 kids, or I have 2 the same, one of different. I don't know if one is just of another gender or is like almost like adopted in some way. But, there seems to be a lot of practice, rehearsal, opportunities you've had to direct these children. Okay. So whether these are literally your kids, these are people you keep an eye on. I feel like this is literal. So what has happened over the years in you giving to these individuals is that you have finally reached a place where you've become superior in some way. This is just how spirit's referring to it, which is essentially psychically, the way I'm reading that is like a mastery level elder. That's a good way to say that. Okay. A mastery level elder. So your audience, which was, I'm just going to call them your kids, is no longer like your target audience. You have elevated up into Sorry, guys, there's an echo in here. Is it always there? I don't know if I'm getting nuts tonight and I can just hear it better. But like you have elevated up into this position where you're going to be asked to give this out to others, and they won't be young people necessarily. Some of them maybe, but they will just be younger in their nature compared to you. Because when you become a master in something, or the way Spirit's saying it is like you're in a superior position, you automatically start to see, no matter what your age is technically, people as younger than you. So even people who are older than you may start to come to you for guidance. I'm hearing like tutoring, help, advocacy, training, apprenticeship. You know, there is this, how do I want to say this? Opportunity that you have coming in here, and it'll just keep coming. A bunch of them will just keep coming. Probably over the next, like I would say the next 7 months, but this already started. So if something happened like 2 days ago where you were offered something, people are inquiring more of you, about you. What do you do? Who are you? Where'd you come from? Tell me more. What's your story? People are kind of latching on. You know what I mean? It's brewing. So what we're going to see, if you accept this blessing, is an opportunity for you to, feels like publishing in some way. And I feel like with you, I'm talking in more the traditional sense. So if you're writing out like song lyrics, you're writing out short pieces, you're writing out freelance journalism pieces, you're publishing online, you are doing a what do you call those things where you write I have one, I just haven't updated it in like a year. I forget what they're called, you know, where you're writing on a regular basis and people just come to your site to see what you posted that you wrote. Okay. And it's all that. It's not like a social media platform, you know, where there's like all this toxic energy. It's just you. It's just your stuff. It's your work. You could be doing it that way, but you could also find that you're being asked to assist others who have walked the walk that you have walked. And they're going to be asking for your uplifting guidance, inspiration, and some tools. It feels a little bit like advocacy in this, and they seem male, like younger men. Okay, and that may be quite literal. That part I think is quite literal. So give it out, be seen. I also hear music around you a lot, so I don't know if you're about to get into a band or if you play. I mean, I heard drums, but I also saw like a guitar. So I don't know if you're doing something more with music, but if you've been thinking about it, you know that there are a lot of blessings in that for you. I mean, at least 5 that will just sort of hit. And this is from like social engagement to opportunities to you channeling more, like your mediumship is going to come through music. That's sort of a side note. Lots of stuff, good stuff. Wow, Manny, you've been doing the work. And Manny's a great example of what happens when you do the work. Your blessings increase as you do the work, whether it's work on yourself, work in, you know, helping others, shadow work. It's all, as long as you're working. How do we know if we're doing the work? You're growing, you're changing. How do you know when people aren't? They never do. Okay. And they're toxic to be around. Okay. So you know if you've got blessings coming or you haven't earned it yet. Because I believe in karma. I don't believe in luck or lottery aspects. I believe in karma. So you get blessings based on the work you did. Okay. Let's move on to Love and Beloved 5497. Happy to be here tonight. Happy to see you, Love and Beloved. Thank you, Ivy, tuning in from New York. New York. All right. Awesome. My fellow New Yorker. Okay. Love and Beloved. Love and Beloved. What do we have for Love and Beloved? Blessing coming in and when? My jaw just popped. I don't know if you guys could hear that. 5 months. Okay. 5 months. If you've had a circumstance that you've been dealing with for a while, like not saying it is, but possibly like a legal situation or something financial. And it's like, how long is this going to drag out? It just seems like it's taking till the end of time. There's paperwork involved. I don't know what direction it's going in. Therefore, any other moves I'm hoping to make are somehow affected by this or directly connected to this. I can't really make those moves. It's like I'm waiting in the waiting place, you know? I see a breakthrough here. And one of the things this may have been doing for you, as well as like a family problem, whether this be like an elder who has been sick or some unhealed relationship, I don't want to say drama, I want to say trauma between you and maybe a parent from the past, maybe something generational that hasn't been fully healed. I also have healing coming in with that. And some of it is work you've been doing. If you've been stopping and pausing and honoring your emotions, if you have been watching for triggers and hot spots, if you've been doing the labor in pausing and saying, you know what, I have more work to do here. I'm going to lean into shadow work or therapy or Google this or watch some videos or talk this out or meditate on it, you know, calling my ancestors, calling my loved ones, you know, tap into my higher mind, treat myself more kindly, talk to myself more nicely, reparent myself in this area, whatever it is that you've been doing it right. But I do feel like a lot of that's going to get sort of washed out. So you have a little more work to do there. And a lot of it is going to be washed out by the universe. I always like to say in situations like this, what are we talking about? We're talking about you did your 50% of the work. So the universe is waiting to see if you're going to hold yourself accountable, because even if something bad happened to you, you are accountable, you know, you are responsible for doing the labor to heal it. So are you taking responsibility? Are you holding yourself accountable? And then once you've done quite a lot of the work, the universe comes in and wipes out the other 50% of the healing, you know, or the trauma or the blocks, the toxins, the obstacles that have been placed there, breaks those chains of generational curse, whatever it is. So it's 50% on you, 50% is on the universe. So that's a nice blend coming in here, washing out stuff from your past. However, the really big blessing, and this is why I think like my jaw is popping for you, and I can't prescribe a diagnosis. I'm not saying you have TMJ. I'm not saying you're doing dental damage or anything, but if you have found that you tend to grind your teeth, you're holding stress in and grinding your teeth at night, if it's showing up in jaw pain, back of your head, neck issues, upper shoulder issues, dental stuff, this could also look like stress, headaches, all the things. I'm just saying you're grinding your teeth, okay? And whether you get a mouth guard or however you're dealing with that, that's great. Do that. But also, like, let's get to the root of the issue here, because you're doing this from a place of stress and pressure, and it's coming out at night through this grinding, okay? And so a lot of that, again, being cleared out, but really the peak moment of freedom comes at about 5 months out from now when you receive some breakthroughs. And I saw out with the old, in with the new, and a rainbow. Holy shit. Okay. So rainbow is the highest prosperity symbol you can get in my readings. It is pot of gold at the end of the rainbow after the storm. If you've been going through hardship, it is God's promise biblically never to put you through something like that again. Take that how it resonates. It is all your hopes and dreams coming true. The highest prosperity symbol you can get. Okay. In my readings. So it hits like that. It's also a bridge from an old way of life into a new way of life. Okay. So out with the old, in with the new. You're going to be a totally different person. I can't even express the amount of blessings that are coming to you at that time, how they're going to hit all areas literally. An astrologer would probably be able to literally see this in your birth chart. A numerologist would be able to see this. I do life contract readings. This would stand out to me as a breakthrough year, a breakthrough point where you have blessings in health, wealth, travel, relationships, you name it, it's there. Be careful for bottom feeders who are going to start to sense that you're going to get this, and they may start to try to latch onto you to get those blessings and ride your coattails. Okay. Huge. All areas blessings. Manny says, thank you, Ivy. I have started some guidance giving. Ooh, like you've mentioned. Thank you. Very interesting. Wonderful. Ooh, Manny, I would love to see. I'm a little bummed all my, Facebook accounts are gone because I could like, sometimes see some of your posts there, but I don't know. Now I'm just on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram, but Instagram's a little bit different that way. So keep me posted. I would love to hear what you're up to. And I'd love to see how it matches the visions I'm having for you. Let's see who is next. Oh, I see what this is. Okay, let's move on to the next one. CJG. CJG, what blessing is coming in for CJG and when? Money? Put your money where your mouth is? Put your money where your mouth is. So you have a blessing coming in. And it has to do with, it could feel like a lateral move, but it's still promotion, significantly so that it affects like your title, for example. Okay. And you seem to be looking at a couple different areas, literally a couple, 2 areas of your life in particular. And you're saying, what more can I do here? How else can I be seen? How else can I sort of make myself be known, shine as a brand, and get that bag? And you seem to have an understanding that you've already earned it. So it's like waiting for you. So if you've been going through a period of time in there's talk of 2 weeks, but I feel this going back 2 months, and I feel going back even 5 months. Okay. So those were your like breakthrough points with this mentally, the way you see it, your perception of the whole thing. You already earned it. It's already here. And so now it's like, well, how do I show up? How do I present? How do I go get it now? Not by chasing it, but by making myself available. It's kind of like being on stage and the curtains open. Okay. And there's that rush of energy. And then you're like in the vibe, in the flow, receiving. Okay. You're in flow state. And I hear like huge applause. I hear, it's almost this sort of exaggerated scene of you being on stage. People wanting your autograph, people wanting to hear you say more, people not wanting to leave their seats in the audience. So there's a lot of benefit here for you. I do think that knowing how to take your next steps is key to receiving the full flood of blessings, following, ministry, clients, right? Getting that cash. And the way Spirit's showing it is like, put your money where your mouth is. So they took a huge stack of cash. I don't know if you've ever seen that emoji, where your mouth is. Hold on. I want to write this down before I forget it. That emoji that looks like a stack of cash with angel wings coming out of it? I don't know if that's an iPhone thing, but anyways, it looks like that. So they like shoved a big stack of cash in your mouth, and I'm seeing like hundreds and hundreds of thousands. I'm not seeing singles and 5s and 10s and 20s. Okay. I'm seeing big bills. And if you have to put your money where your mouth is, take it as it resonates for the next steps you've been thinking of making, because you seem to have this all figured out. I'm not going to tell you anything today you don't already know, but it's like step out and do it. Okay. And then wait for that curtain to open, and here comes the receiving. What I think is going to happen with you is a sort of slow unfolding of blessings that aren't going to hit like all at once. It's in many different areas. It's over the course of time. But it is every single day, which is nice. Some days a lot bigger than others. And at 9 months out from now, you have the big one, which I think is funny because we associate that with like birthing a child, right? It's 10 months technically, let's be real. But it's 9 months, they say. Okay. And this is sort of like your baby, okay? Your new project, this thing that you're working on. And you'll finally have it to hold at 9 months. And that to me speaks to blessings on your foundation and trajectory in where you're headed, where your money's headed, all those things, growth, networking, partnership opportunities, and also travel, adventure. If you wanted to take it, if you wanted to relocate, get another citizenship, whatever it is, it's all in the cards. and understanding, most importantly, what this is going to look like as it unfolds into the next step. Because sometimes when you launch something, you don't know right away, and you shouldn't be stuck in your ways. Okay, so it'll unfold, it'll show you, and then you can ride that for years, literally for years, around 9 months. This is a big deal, big deal. Enjoy, CJG. Next one up is Ayana. For those of you tuning in late, welcome. This is what blessings are coming your way, where you drop a $10 donation and I tell you what blessing is coming your way and when it will be hitting. Okay, next up was, did I say Ayana? I believe Ayana. Okay. What blessing is coming in for Ayana and when? Blessings for Ayana and when? It's like, I don't know if you're a reader, but you carry reader energy, right? So if you're not reading, you need to be reading. And I mean reading people psychically. I see you looking into a crystal ball. This is to your past. I'm looking into my crystal ball. Here's my crystal ball. I have to scribe for this. What's the answer? What's the answer for this other person? What's the healing that can be done? You know, all these answers are in the crystal ball. Now, this exists for everyone. However, most people don't lean into it because they're fear-based creatures who have been programmed by society to believe that the devil lives in their intuition and that they should go to a priest at church and that the power belongs in the hands of only these people and you should never tap into your own power. So they're weak-minded. They're part of the cult. And we can have that cult mentality of like, I won't tap into my intuition. But we can also have a resistance to it. And this is just more of what I'm seeing with you, where you have some deep-seated, subconscious, rooted issues in maybe fear, ego, which is fear, manipulation, and control in regards to your intuition and what you're meant to do with it. Maybe you being here as a light worker, you being here as a healer, you're critical and judgmental of it. I honestly think for you that this could be connected to a past life. I think you may have, you could book a past life reading at any time. We have a past life show coming up, but I think you may have been, and I'm sorry if this is triggering, but part of witch hunts or on the receiving end of some abuse that went toward women who did tap into their intuition when Catholicism was really taking over everything. And it was like, submit, obey, or else, okay? This causes, in this lifetime here in 2026, a sort of deep-rooted, subconscious fear and trauma around really stepping into our intuitive intelligence and power there. And it's not because you're going to be harmed, you know, but it's because you were harmed. So you're going to need to do some clearing work with that, because that crystal ball is only going to tell you so much. Anyone on this earth could look into a crystal ball and scry and tap in psychically and mediumistically to spirit, okay, or empathically utilize their clairs. But when fear is involved, whether they look into the ball and they see nothing because they've blocked it, or they look into the ball and they see a whole heck of a lot, and you do, but you're not giving it, you're not sharing it, you're not embracing it, you're not adopting it into your belief system, and you become double-minded. Okay, it was one step forward looking into the crystal ball, 2 steps back in that I'm going to reject what I just saw. When you do this to yourself, you are also doing it to others in not setting a good example on how to live and not giving them the healing messages you were supposed to give. You are coming up as like the Empress in tarot. I don't really know a lot about that, but you can Google it, and it just feels very powerful to me, okay? And not maybe you recognizing that you are that powerful. You've always been that powerful. You were that powerful, and you are needing to come home. to that. What's happening here is about 2 months out from now, you're going to receive a blessing in an opportunity. And if you can step up and really shine, I heard shine your nature. She needs to shine her nature. If you do it at that time, it'll come through someone asking you for something, like your input, your feedback, a reading, a healing, you know, something in that vein. Then you're going to have the real breakthrough from that. What did I say? Breakthrough? At 5 months. And the one that comes in at 5 months is like payout for that, payout for the work that you do leading up to the 2nd month. And then from the 2nd month to the 5th month, which means at 2 months out from now, you receive this opportunity, and you taking it, which I believe you will, is not really a question, but will you backpedal immediately after that? Will you become fearful? Will you start to feed that toxicity? Will you take 2 steps back? You know, will you denounce what you really are again? Are you going to keep doing that to yourself because that was done to you in a past life? Or are you going to hold steady, hold the line? Finally, once and for all in this life, progress forward consistently. No more backpedaling, okay? And if you do, your real blessing from all of that is going to come at about 5 months out from now. And this could look like some health reversal stuff, mental health reversal stuff. I can't prescribe or diagnose. This could also look like money coming in, opportunities and stability and shelter. Big stuff. Thank you for the hearts on TikTok. Love you guys. CJG says, thank you, Ivy. That is exciting. Yay. I'm so excited for you guys. I want one of these for myself. I want one of you to read me and tell me what blessings are coming my way. That is exciting. And, you know, we can count on these things. As long as we do the work, we can count on these things. Reading for Mark, AKA Nature Calls You. Hi, Ivy. What blessings are coming my way? Okay, for Mark. Hi, Mark. Mark, AKA Nature Calls You. What blessing is coming for Mark and when? 2 months, 7 months, 5 to 7 weeks. 5 to 7 weeks. Why is it going backward? 2 months. 7 months, 5 to 7 weeks. Why are we going backward? We go forward, we go backward. 2 months. What happens at 2 months? Oh, that's a chunk of time. 2 to 7 months. All right. So in 5 to 7 weeks, you have the first set of blessings coming in. If you understand yourself as having the engineer's mind, you would understand that you constantly look at patterns. You constantly observe how systems are dysfunctional, how systems operate, how systems could be improved upon. This is mechanical. This is engineering. This could even be plumbing. This could be electrical. This could be groups of people. You know, this could be just systems of any kind. You also would be musically inclined or artistically inclined. So this could be like perfect pitch or, you know, picking up an instrument and like learning by ear. All of that, okay, is the same part of the brain. It also connects. So all my engineer people who are here, this also connects to intuitive intelligence. So they're all intuitively intelligent. That's psychic, mediumistic, empathic ability. Okay. So you seem to be moving 5 to 7 weeks out from now into some type of like a contract that's being offered to you. This could be verbal. This could be literal. A contract, some type of agreement to do more with your engineer's mind. And if you take that, you are entering into a point of leadership with it. And this leadership is going to allow you to see the world in a different way, see the world through your shining eyes, be seen as someone who shines. And it's based on your perception of the world. So some people, they don't have a thought. It's a clunk and mow together. You know what I mean? It's like the stooges. They hang out with other stooges. They don't have an intellectual individual thought up there, okay, to save their life. Other people have them, but they're not super original. And these would be the type of people that say, it's already been done. You know what I mean? There's no such thing as intellectual property. It's already been done. No, no, no. Just because you don't have it, an interesting, unique, original thought doesn't mean other people don't. There's a lot of those. And you are in the other category, which is that you are actually having original thoughts. Okay. You are coming up with, I'm hearing exclusive ideas, evolution. You are shining. Okay. You're like a star. It's like little stars coming out of your ears, coming out of your brains, coming out of your mouth at some point, coming out of your heart, coming out of your throat. Okay. And at around 2 months, coming out of your root chakra, which is your power out. Now, I think what's going to be happening here, if you are willing to give these thoughts, is that you're going to see some receptivity from people who are acknowledging, like, that was a weird thing to say. You know, people noticing too that you're channeling a lot. So you may not even remember what you said, or you don't think, you know, people who do this don't know that they're doing it. They don't typically think of themselves as being very different. And that's the beauty of it, is that there's a certain humble energy that you carry where it's like, I'm not even trying. I don't even know I'm doing it. But people are like, what did you say? Okay. And there's more opportunity for expansion coming to you. A lot of it will just feel like it's coming from the universe. Okay. Not even like it's coming through people, but like it's coming from the universe. But I see both happening. And from 2 to 7 months, you're going to see a gradual payout of blessings that can lead you into a very different place, especially in work. If you've been looking to do anything different, it also seems to affect your retirement plans. If you've been looking to do something different with this. Okay. And, I want to say elevate to a place where you're really fulfilling your life contract, meaning what you came here to do, and you're feeling more fulfilled. It feels more fun and adventurous as well. So this is brilliant. I love this. You could also see a breakthrough with like people in your circle, like someone you love, but also like your family, immediate friends, like they could be having some breakthroughs that you also get to celebrate with them and for them. So lots of blessings all the way around. It's not just you, it's your circle, it's your group, it's all of you guys. Okay. Maybe take a trip too. I would plan something to celebrate all this. This is amazing. Let's move on to another one. Okay. So this is for Mindy. Mindy, what blessings are coming your way? Mindy, what blessing is coming her way and when? Someone's banging on my door. Not without a fucking warrant. ICE cleared all the houses out. My neighbors are all gone. This is the highest Latino population outside of New York City. Not without a fucking warrant. Moving on. For Mindy. Mindy, what blessing is coming in for Mindy? I see you cutting through what almost looks like bamboo or tall grass or weeds or some type of like swampy environment. Now, when we talk about water in this way, we are talking about, okay, water is always going to be mental and emotional. Okay. But what we want to see when we see water is clear, calm. We want to be able to even see through it. Okay. It signifies that your mental and emotional state, thank you for the hearts on TikTok. It signifies that your mental and emotional state brings clarity. Mindy, the tall grass. So, you know, what I'm seeing for you here is an ability to basically cut through. circumstances that have been preventing you from two different things, okay? Mental and emotional clarity and movement. All right. So if you were, for example, trying to work your way through like a swamp or, like the bayou, or we have this a lot in Savannah, like down south. Sorry, I have to do the puzzle here on TikTok. So when you're trying to work your way through something like that, it can be very hard to get like your kayak or whatever you're in, your boat through it. It's symbolic of you needing to clear it out so that you can have more mobility. All right. Now this is coming up to the left. So to your recent past, and to your recent past, 3 weeks. Maybe you've been intensely going through something for about 3 weeks, and you're deciding, like, it's almost like I'm going to get my freaking machete. Okay. It's like, I'm going to get my machete. I'm going to cut through this. I'm going to cut through this. I'm going to cut through this. So you seem to have gone from a state of being overwhelmed, maybe feeling like I can't think. I'm overwhelmed by emotion, or even getting to a point. Sometimes when you've been overwhelmed for too long, thank you for the hearts on TikTok, you can feel numb even. Like you've stopped, like you're not processing anymore. And what you're really doing here is getting enraged. It's like this righteous rage where you say, F this, I'm fighting back, or I'm going to find my way out of this, because you may have realized in recent weeks and possibly even months that like no one's coming to save you. So I see you hacking through this. And the water underneath, as you would expect, looks a little muddy. Okay. And so now that you've gotten these sort of like weeds out of here, and this is going on, I want to say even for the next 48 hours, you could feel like you're still kind of whacking all this, down. But there is this sense of you, how do I want to say this? There's this sense of you feeling lighter. It's like looking at the water and knowing that it's murky, it's muddy, means your emotional and mental state is still rattled, very rattled. Okay. But you have energy. And part of the reason in the next, again, like 48 hours or so, you're going to have such a burst of energy is because you are doing your 50% of the work. When we talk about responsibility, when we talk about you holding yourself accountable, when we talk about you fighting back, we talk about righteous anger, we talk about you doing for yourself and not being reliant upon outside sources, but seeing yourself as the resource. Because you did that work, because you're doing that work, you are going to be receiving energy from the universe, okay, from your own higher mind, all of these sources, okay, even like other people, it could start coming in. So that is the first blessing. But what I really see coming from this mostly is going to be movement. I want to say movement is the biggest deal, because you have a way of, appreciating life more when you're not sort of sitting around waiting for the next thing. You're a go-getter. It's against your nature to have to wait and sit still. So I see you being able to move forward quite literally in a couple different areas of your life, which is, its own blessing. And I see you getting what feels like an award, a reward, receiving feedback from the universe that it's done. It's almost like it's done. It's over with. Okay. It's a brighter day. I keep hearing that song. Is it a Beatles song? What is that? The sun coming out? You guys let me know in the comments. I think it's a Beatles song, but it's like the sun coming out. Okay. And some battles you've been going through are going to be, okay, officially over with. And from there, it feels like you're quite literally starting a whole new life. And I do wonder if some of that is going to be, residency change. Okay. Now, when I see residency change, and this is going to be up to you, and this is hitting it about 5 months out from now. Okay. So this may be one of the biggest blessings. If you've been looking to do upgrades to the residency, buy more property, invest, okay, in like land, any type of relocation. And then it can also be where you work, where you spend the majority of your time, or like your workspace in the literal sense. Okay. We're going to see some major breakthroughs there. And that is because you chopped all those weeds down. What are they called? Cattails? What are those long brown things, right? And you kept going. And that is directly going to affect sense of fulfillment in work, your money, okay, promotions, all these things. So quite a lot actually coming in for you. But we gotta keep doing that work. Gotta keep doing that work. All right, let's see where we are. Nature Calls You says, thank you, Ivy. You're very welcome. Thank you, Mark. The next one up is Mackenzie Mooser. Mackenzie, what blessing is coming in for Mackenzie? And when? Mackenzie, blessings for Mackenzie. You seem to have an opportunity coming back around. I'm going to have to go back about 2 years on this, but I'm hearing 8 months. So this could have like a part 1, a part 2, you know, sometimes things don't happen. And so they sort of come back around again. I think that what's happening here is that we are watching, I hate to say it, okay, but this is the reality. I don't make the rules. If you started feeding a situation you should not have been about 2 years ago, a person, a relationship, a bad habit, whatever you were feeding. Typically, if you were feeding one thing you shouldn't have been, you were feeding other things you shouldn't have been. We don't need to get into that. You were there. It's your business. You know what I'm talking about. You started feeding something 2 years ago that you weren't supposed to, and you refused to give it up. You missed out on an opportunity that was supposed to come in. So this is why I say everything is karmic, including blessings. There's no such thing as luck or lottery aspect, right? So you were supposed to get something. You had earned it. But then you started feeding things that were below you, and you got what I call negative karmic kickback, which means different areas of your life get hit because everything's connected. There are no categories. So because you were making these decisions, you started to see certain areas of your life deteriorate. You saw other areas of your life stagnate. And in this case, you saw a full reversal on a blessing you were supposed to get. It happens typically every day, all the time. This is what we're working with. So we want to be very realistic, that we can't entertain people in situations that are low level energy, meaning stuff we're not supposed to toy with. And you know better, okay? I think you learned your lesson, but you're in a very sort of delicate, and then something comes up with it 8 months ago again, okay? So like it tried to come back around, and it's like you weren't ready. Now you were tested. And I think you failed there, okay? So you proved to the universe you weren't ready. So it did try to come back around. So you're in like a very delicate 3 to 4 week period. That is very little time. I mean, we think 3 to 4 weeks. I mean, that can pass and it can feel like a couple hours, if even, okay? 3 to 4 week period. Girl, you're going to want to nail this, all right? Be steady. Be focused. Be centered. Bring your A game to everything you're doing for yourself in your life right now. This is about you feeding yourself, feeding your soul, feeding your work, right? Giving to your career. I'm not talking about workaholism. I'm talking about really investing. If there's anything you've been thinking about doing lately with like title expansion, education, certifications, training, okay, anything like that. If there's anything like that that you've been thinking of doing, you know, you can rest assured it's going to pay off. There is in your blessing an opportunity, if you can, for the next 3 to 4 weeks, prove through some testing. I'm not going to sugarcoat. Okay. The universe doesn't give willy-nilly. I mean, it really puts you through the ringer. You have to prove by holding the line and walking out what you say you know. Universe doesn't care what you think you know, what you say you know. You could preach about something you know. You could be right in preaching about what you know, but until you walk it out, you know, you get nothing for that. So the next 3 to 4 weeks, be mindful about all the things I just talked about, pass those tests, and this opportunity is coming back around again. Okay. This is big. This is career stuff. This is fulfillment. This is life contract. This is long-term trajectory. This is a nice foundation to build off of. This is expansion in that. You also have a lot of like mobility in your, career. So if something you've been wanting to do too, I don't want to go off on a tangent. I want to get on to the next person. But like, if you've been like, I want to travel for my work, I want to be able to go wherever I want to go. You know, I want mobility. You're going to get it. This is a big deal. Okay. Looks beautiful. Beautiful. All right. So, good luck with that. Next one up is Danny Ruiz. Danny. What blessing is coming in for Danny and when? Danny. You seem to be given the keys to a new car. Now, this could be symbolic. You take it how it resonates. If you are looking for a new vehicle, I mean, I would say it's probably both then. It's what I'm going to say that this means symbolically and quite literally, this could be a new vehicle because I am seeing some very specific things like a bigger boxy, like SUV type thing. I'm seeing green, almost like army green or olive green. And then I'm seeing black. So I don't know, you know, it could be both. But it's coming from the past. And it is symbolic whenever I see like you getting the keys to a new vehicle, especially something as powerful as what I'm looking at. This is expensive. This is leather interior. This is heated seats. This is fast AF. Okay. This is, you know, half electric, or it's like good on gas. It's high, you know, good mileage. It's like, it's all the things. It's also big, symbolizing the opportunity to run blocks and obstacles over. So good luck. I pity the fool who gets in your way going forward. But also you can carry other people in a vehicle this size or other things. If you're building things or people need a ride, you know what I mean? My cup runneth over. I become the lender, never the borrower. All the things. But this started a while ago. So if you've been feeling a little bit like you've gone through the ringer the last 6 to 7 months, this could be why. It's almost like I'm engaging in life, but I'm getting burnt out, you know, and I'm feeling like, when does it come? When does the breakthrough come? When does the change come? You know, where's the stability? Where's the payout for all of this? Because it's been a lot longer than that. I get that. But I think that what's happening here is that you are getting to a place where you can honestly say, and I want to say that you've been feeling this more in recent days, but I'm seeing this even in the last like 2 to 3 days. You're getting to a place where you're less emotional about everything. And you are more, I guess you could say logical. I would say intuitive. Okay. You have 3 different kinds of intelligence. You have intuitive intelligence, which trumps the other 2. And you have emotional intelligence. Then you have logic. Okay. So never shall they really meet. It's very rare that they do. Your logic and your emotion can lie to you. Often it does for humans, especially if you've been doing a lot with deprogramming from toxic systems. Okay. But your intuitive intelligence will never lie. Energy never lies. So there's this sense here of you. There's this sense of you coming out of this, okay, in the last like 2 to 3 days and starting to feel today, tomorrow, the following day, very powerful. And I think what's happening is that it's almost like the glasses are removed, whether they've been like rose-colored glasses, you haven't been seeing things clearly, you haven't been wanting to see things clearly. Now you see things crystal clear. This could also be you seeing your potential, you seeing the way people see you. I would say spend a little more time on that, because while I think you've done a lot of work on yourself and you've done a lot with like self-perception and self-development and where am I in all of this, what about the way you're seen? That's just as valuable, if not more so, that information. You know, we're humans. We have to navigate the world. Pay more attention for the next 5 weeks or so to how you're seen. Okay? What do people want from you? What do people think of you? How do people have jealousy toward you? They see you as a threat. They see you as, you know, someone of power. In coming into that awareness, you are going to get the keys to this like Hummer, this gigantic Jeep, this army vehicle, this truck, this thing, right? This powerful vehicle, and possibly get the keys to your new car. Keep me posted, okay, if you end up with a new vehicle. Literally also. But, you know, this is a blessing in that you seem to be able to, I want to say ballpark around, you know, 7 weeks out from now, seven going into the eighth week out from now looks quite different than even the previous week. You seem to really be putting the keys in the ignition, whatever, pressing the button, right? Pedal to the metal. It's like, I am hitting the gas. You hit the ground running and you're off. And I see you driving off into like, it's this beautiful scene of almost like Arizona, like an Arizona sunset, you know, that could just be symbolic. Take it out, resonates, but it's like wide open roads. Okay. And beauty. And, you are doing this independently, which means these blessings are your own. This power is your own. And of course it is, because you earned it, but also with a lot of people in your heart, with a great sense of community, with a great sense of connectivity to the universe and the spirit world. Okay. And thinking of people, memories of people, and knowing that you are about to network with people in a way that you never have before. So it's almost like the ghosts of people living and deceased in the back seat of your truck. Okay. But it's just you behind that wheel. Very, very powerful. You know, I have to say, you guys, like, you guys are doing a lot of work. There's a lot of work being done here. Because I know everybody wants to hear like, oh, what luck is coming my way? What blessings are coming my way? Nothing if you're not doing the work. I mean, nothing, literally nothing. Even if you got something, it could be taken away, you know, but a lot of you are really, and have been for a long time. And I know you're tired, but you've really been hustling here. This is significant stuff. These are huge prosperity symbols and symbols of power and self-empowerment and healing. Okay, let's move on to, this is Mindy said, I received 2 readings tonight, but I only paid for 1. So we wanted to pay for an extra one. Thank you very much. So helpful to hear both readings. Much help, Ivy. Well, it happens for a reason, because Diana's never done that before. So I don't even know, like, literally Diana does this all week long, hours and hours and hours. She's been doing it for like a year, and that's never happened. So that whatever was said to you, I don't remember, but that's something you needed to hear. That happened for a reason. So thank you. And thank you for the extra $10. I'll take it. All right. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Okay. Tanya Rivera, another Rivera. Tanya Rivera is up next. Tanya, what blessing is coming in for Tanya, and when? What blessing is coming in for Tanya, and when? Okay. I see you receiving a teddy bear, and it's coming from a grandmother, and she's in spirit. So I feel like she watches over you in a protective way. You know, it's kind of cute. I mean, she sees you as a kid, obviously, clearly. She sees you as like her baby. And maternal energy, and she was kind of a little bit like big busted, not, her arms weren't very big. See, like brown hair, like kind of maybe curly or layered, like wavy, you know. May have had a cancerous condition or smoked, take it how it resonates, but there does seem something systemic. And she was a little, high vibrational, a little wired, a little anxious, maybe nervous, maybe some nervous conditions. Highly empathic people can be that way. So maybe she did literally smoke or, did other things that weren't healthy in dealing with stress. She is coming in here talking about you having these tendencies and her watching over you and kind of apologizing for them. That's what we call karmic debt, folks. A generational curse, right? She has some karmic debt to you in this area. She did hand this nervousness down to you. For you, it's more mental. You don't show signs of it on the outside like she did. You're not like fidgeting and crazy busy all the time and like, what can I do next? It's not that. It's just that your mind goes and goes and goes and goes. And your mind has a way of being bent. It's like tilting toward negative what ifs about the future, things that will probably never happen. You have no reason to believe a lot of these things will happen. But she comes in here, especially at night, when even if you did well during the day and you like controlled those thoughts, you had an upper hand. During your sleep state, you may wander off into the deep waters, she says. Okay, get a little too far out at sea. And she comes and she tucks you in and she gives you this teddy bear. And it's a very sweet scene of like this lullaby. I'm also hearing You Are My Sunshine, My Only Sunshine. So watch that popping in your head. Okay. But, and she's showing me a sunflower, which is spiritual development. So 6 months out from now, you're going to peak with psychic, mediumistic, and intuitive abilities. Again, welcome a new level. Okay. Be prepared for that. Good Lord. And then, but that is a blessing. Okay. That is a blessing. You just have to handle those abilities. In this teddy bear is almost like, I don't know if you ever saw Romancing the Stone. I freaking love this movie. Okay. As a kid, Romancing the Stone or Jewel of the Nile. I can't even think of these people's names, right? Kathleen Turner, or was it Kathleen? I don't even know. Michael Douglas. So there's a scene. She showed me there's like great adventures. They're swinging from ropes. I don't know. They're flopping through Colombian jungles and they're wet and they're dirty and they're running from the mob and they're escaping and this and that. And then they pull out of the ground bunny in this like a statue of a bunny rabbit, like an Easter bunny rabbit, and they smash it open and inside is this huge emerald. Okay, and it's the answer, the solution to all their problems. Okay, to everything. And then after that, it's like they're living on yachts and she's publishing from the middle of the ocean and they're like traveling the world and life is amazing. Okay, after that. So there's this idea here that in this teddy bear is like your true heart, your true salvation, your solution, right? Your answer to freedom. And the fact that it looks like this green emerald is very healing. We could also say this is connected to St. Michael, not St. Michael, but hey, that came out of my mouth. So take it out, resonates. Okay. St. Michael protects, but I was going to say Raphael, Archangel Raphael. Okay. So healing. So you may be going through a period of time. If you continue to do this and receive from her, she's calming you down, especially most of this is going to happen at night. She's sending you this healing. You have to be willing to sort of rip that teddy bear open, let go of childhood things, and take that heart out and use it. This is about you doing heart healing. This may be the last of it. If you've been doing a lot of healing with your heart chakra, we're talking past life. We're talking childhood wounds. We're talking loss, grief, and disappointment. Okay. All the things. It's time. And then you become this tremendous healer for other people. And that's what Archangel Raphael does also. It's like going to help you through your process. And then you go out and you give it to others. So I see you working from that energy and being able to level up twice after that. I'm hearing 9 months out from now. This is really going to peak for you if you do this work. Okay. And she's helping and guiding you through it. But it'll be 2 levels up within the healing work that you do. So you're going to be seen, you're going to be heard, money will increase, networking opportunities increasing. If you have an online presence or you wanted to, that will also be like better or blow up or like be let loose. Maybe let loose into the algorithm. Sometimes Zuckerberg screws up and he doesn't limit all my stuff, or TikTok actually lets my stuff go to the For You page. Every now and again, they screw up or I slip through the cracks. You know what I mean? And then you see what you are actually doing and the oppression is gone for a brief moment in time. You know what I mean? But it's kind of like that. I'm not saying you're being oppressed. I'm just saying everything is felt slow and that's your breakthrough. Okay. Fascinating. We are going to move on to another one. Love and Beloved said, Ivy, thank you so much. Your ability to hear spirit is incredible. Thank you for sharing your gift. These messages resonate true. I hope you stay safe with all that's going on. I do too. Thank you. I hope you do as well. Thank you for that feedback. Edgar says, thank you, Ivy. I have had many opportunities. Ooh, okay. Here's some good feedback. Let's see what this is. Thank you, Ivy. I have had many opportunities last week and this week to speak my truth, and I haven't been backing down to these opportunities. Thank you. Yay. Let's give Edgar a hand. It's hard to speak your truth, even in a great situation. Even if you're at a work meeting or whatever, it seems like a great opportunity. When we are clearing a throat chakra, that could be scary as hell, you know? That's huge. Congrats. It'll pay off. Let's move on to Alicia Fulvey. Alicia, what blessing is coming in for Alicia and when? Alicia, you seem to have just had an opportunity. I don't even think this happened yet. It didn't happen yet. 2 days? Is it 2 days or is that 2 weeks? 2 to 3 days to 2 weeks? For the next 2 to 3 days to 2 weeks total, you're going to have some opportunities. This could just be one opportunity, but it breaks up into like little bite-sized pieces. So take it how it resonates. But you're going to have an opportunity to help someone, to advocate, to heal, right? To assist. You're going to have an opportunity to assist. And if you do this, you earn a big, I just saw jackpot. And if you've ever gone to the casino and you're like poor, you play slots. Okay. And plus they're fun. And so it's like you pull down and it's like cherry, cherry, cherry. Okay. Breakthrough, jackpot. So, and my nose just keeps itching with you. Something about your ancestors. I'm hearing, don't forget your roots. Oh my God. Now, when your nose itches, this is your ancestors talking to you, telling you, don't forget your roots, which can also mean like beyond don't forget your roots. It's a little bit bigger than that, in that it's like, you know, don't forget your power. Don't minimize yourself. You know, don't think that you don't have the power to do something. This can be stand up for what you believe in. You know, this could be all those types of things. But your ancestors are speaking, and it could start in the next, again, couple days, even with like a ringing in your ears, like a tinnitus, okay, or a feeling of pressure in your ears, or like a seashell, hot ears, tingling ears, any of the things, okay? So I think what's going to be happening for you is that you have this opportunity to assist in this situation, and then you receive a payout. I'm feeling it at about 3 weeks out from now, and whatever else I had said, but I'm getting it even bigger at 4 months out from now. So this may lead to like a part 2 scenario, a part 2 situation where you are being talked about. Okay. You're being seen. People are hearing your name and they're understanding that you're someone they want to like honor or award or have on their team. And they're coming to you with a big opportunity. So that would be delivered, okay, on the other dates that I just mentioned, a little further out. And I think what's going on is ultimately, and the way you karmically earned this, and how you can keep shining your light and set an example for other people who need to do it, is that you have been more aware of yourself and more willing in recent months, like the last 2 months in particular, but something hit 8 months ago that triggered it. You are able to be authentically yourself. You're allowing yourself to be authentically yourself, unapologetically yourself. Therefore, you are coming into alignment with the right people and situations and opportunities and all the things. Okay, that's how it works. Essentially, you're growing, you're changing, you're no longer shrinking. So kudos. This looks amazing. Looks really interesting too. Jess 1199. Jess, what blessing is coming in for Jess and when? What blessing is coming in for Jess and when? So I see a dead dog. I don't love it. You could have just had your heart broken, or you could be feeling a sense of grief, a sense of loss. I heard disparaging. There's a sense here of loyalty being shot. And when I see a dog in my symbol base, a dog is going to represent peace, harmony, being in alignment with the universe. I always like to say, like, watching a dog with the sun shining on its face is better than anything any religion can give you, right? It's pure energy. It's simplicity, joy, peace, being centered. And it represents loyalty. Dogs in my symbol base represent loyalty. So in the recent days and weeks, you have seen, but this feels like days. I mean, this even feels like hours, like you're still probably processing some of this. Somehow your loyalty was broken. Somehow your sense of inner peace has been shattered and you're not feeling centered, okay? Things have gotten far more serious and the dog is dead, symbolically. That is not something you could put back together again. You can't resuscitate what was. So you are now embarking on this journey, and this feels like a 2-month long journey. This could feel a little bit like a long, dirty journey, which is probably not what you wanted to hear tonight at the blessing show, right? But you do what you're supposed to do, and your blessings are coming. We're going to get there. But for the next 2 months, you could feel like you're stepping out as this sort of eye-opened, higher mind of awareness individual, right? Who sees everything clearly now. And you're coming as the train as well. So I hear a train coming in 180 miles an hour, this freight train coming in. You as the train is your new totem. Okay. So if the dog had been your totem for a while, were you looking at loyalty? What's paying me back? Where's their healthy balance? Where are things out of whack? What needs to be on the chop block? What do I need to detox from? You know, what is being loyal to me? Am I being loyal to me? Am I even being loyal to me? If you've been examining a lot of that, we're out of that. That's over. Now you become the train. The train is boundary setting. This is you telling people, places, and situations you had previously been investing in. Look, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe you can't get on this train. I'll let you on. But at the next stop, you may have to get off. Okay. But I'm going in this direction, full force. So this is about being emotionally and mentally detached from making the changes you need to make. What happens with this, if you continue to go forward, being true to what you want to build in your life, where you want to go, despite other people, lack of loyalty, whatever, feeling like you're doing it alone even, this is going to bring huge blessings in here for you immediately. Okay. Because that feels good. It energizes you. You're getting in alignment with yourself. Okay. You may feel more powerful. So that's already starting. I want to say in the last day or two, you've been feeling it coming, but that's now. Now at 3 months out from now, you seem to be taking some type of opportunity that's offered to you to either get into a different work environment and or increase your status. This could also be your financial status. But it also affects like residency. So this could be the space you work in as well as your actual living space, upgrades. The opportunity itself technically starts to show 2 months out from now, but for some reason, I feel like you can't touch it. You can't have it. You can't even make a decision on it. So it's like a blessing that drags for a while. It's kind of like, it's almost like jump for this apple, but there's really nothing more to do. It's sort of like, I hope I get it. I hope I can have that. Can I have it? You know, during that time, I just want to say, don't become negative Nelly. Don't be like, well, every time something good happens, it gets taken away. I'm even Steven, you know what I mean? Like, don't go there. Just try to, stay focused that you're seeing it for a reason. You're not the only one involved in this. And so sometimes when blessings come in, they can drag for a while because yes, you're ready. And yes, you did the work, but all the other people involved have to get in alignment. Okay. So I like to just say, leave it up to divine timing. Let everyone else fall into place. The universe is handling them. Okay. So lots of upgrades. Okay. Jess, is that the one I'm reading right now? Yes. Okay. So Jess is giving a testimony here. She says, I quit my job. And when I interviewed at another job, there was a freight train going by on my way there and a freight train going by on my way back. It's freaking amazing. And we have a freight train right here. So if that goes off, I'm going to freak out. That's amazing. Thank you so much for that testimony. And that right there is a great example of how we need to pay attention to symbology. Okay. Symbology is everything. It's everywhere. There are patterns everywhere. Everything is a spider web. Listen, pay attention. That's her new totem, is a freight train. And there it was on her way in, on her way out, right? She shifted from one totem, which was the dog, to the freight train. So symbology is everywhere. Numerology, astrology, colors, animal totems, all the things. So exciting. Next one up is Anna Pekka. Anna Pekka, what blessing is coming in for Anna and when? Ooh, you have a grandfather coming through who's been watching out over you, but he's not very loud. Like I didn't even know he was here. He's a stoic fellow, but he's very soft-spoken. Even when he would have been telling you something, I don't care how powerful that wisdom was, you had to choose to hear him. He wasn't going to shout. He wasn't going to yell. He didn't come from a place of ego. He didn't have to pontificate. He wasn't on a soapbox. Quite frankly, he didn't give a shit. He didn't care whether it landed or not. And that's true power. This is a man who knew his value. He knew his worth, and he wants you to do the same. He sees a lot of himself in you. You and him, you guys share a lot of tasks. So there's like karmic debt there, okay? His storyline plays out through you in this next generation. So he comes in here. One simple message beyond that, he puts a yellow daisy in a little vase. You ever see those little vases? I want to go buy some. They make them as magnets now for your refrigerator. They're so freaking cute. But it's just like a vase for one flower. It's this little vase. And he drops a yellow daisy in there. Yellow daisies are fun, travel, adventure, joy, inner peace. I like to think of them also as like self-love, self-celebration, enjoying your own company and energy. But in this case, I feel like it also may involve some type of trip that you're taking, maybe with like 2 girlfriends, maybe with a third. I don't know how well you know this third person, or like 2 the same, one of difference. Maybe like these 2 girls are the same and this one girl's like newer or something. But anyways, I see you guys talking about this trip, talking about booking this thing or going soon. It may be tropical. There could also be a boat. So maybe you take a boat when you're there. It could also be like a cruise. Okay. And I see other adventures for you. I don't know if you're going to take up a dance class. This looks like salsa. I mean, this looks like some kind of Spanish dancing. Um, you seem to be hanging out with a lot of Latinos. And because I hear drums too. I'm hearing like, so I don't know if this is like a Taino community. That's interesting. There are drums over here. There's dancing over here. If you are debating, let's just put it this way. If you're debating on getting into like other cultures, hanging out with different types of people, making new friends, and you want to move, you want to dance, you want to create more fluidity in your energy, right? The way you do that is through like music and dance and going to new places, you know, things like that. Even if you go on walks every day, change up the way you walk, go backward, not literally backward, but like go the other way, right? Try something different with your workouts. But I think that through these new sort of engagements, you are also finding that you're being invited, again, the daisy, to new other adventures, other new adventures, places, communities. This looks fun. I mean, this looks like I'm like jealous. This looks really fun. You must be near a city to get all that. I'm like an hour plus away from a city, so I don't have any of that anymore. But I see like everything ranging from museums to drumming to dance classes to like art to some kind of, I don't know, pottery thing. I see other music. I see bands playing in bars that feel almost like blues, the blues are playing, to jazz, to like this is gonna be fun. Okay, so those are your blessings. Okay, those are blessings. But what know your value, know your worth. Okay, love you, choose you. He's going to be helping and guiding you through that. You can have all this if you do this, okay, for you. All right, we are going to move on to Delilah. Delilah. It's funny because I just said like jazz. Delilah was I think she's still around. Oh, she's like dead. I mean, she was in the 90s. She was this Delilah. She'd play these. She talks. She's just got this very smooth voice. It's all about love. It's all about loving the ones you love. All right, let's move on. So Delilah. Oh, I do want to hold on before we move on to Delilah. Anna just left a testimony. You guys are pumping out these testimonies real quick. Thank you. Anna said, I do have a trip planned with 2 girlfriends in April. Get out. It's like I'm psychic or something. In April. Okay, very good, very good. Very soon. I also was admiring my grandfather's singular vase last week. I found it. Thank you so much. Holy shit. That's trippy. I'm freaked out. That's amazing. Okay, well, there you go. He put that there. Lot of love to you. Thank you for sharing. Delilah? Is it Delilah? Okay, Delilah is next. Delilah, what blessing is coming through for Delilah and when? Cha-ching, cha-ching. These are little coins, but like no coin is too small. It's still money. It's still benefit. Be watching also for your loved ones, your ancestors, your guides, your angels, pets. I mean, kind of everybody uses the penny system. Old school mediums call it pennies from heaven. So the old timers would say, oh, pennies from heaven. They leave you pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, tokens. Okay. So you're going to be seeing this like coins left for you. Collect them. I would say start putting them in jars or make an altar even with a list of your goals, your manifestations, your vision board, your future self, your future life, whatever it is. Okay. Keep it all together. Now, this has already started because this is coming up over the last 3 months, and this is all triggered by something that happened 5 to 6 months ago. I don't know if you broke up with someone, but I have you leaving a male behind or leaving male energy behind. Okay. So this doesn't have to be romantic. Take it out, resonates. I don't have time to go there today. Okay. But whatever you left, energetically, literally, it broke you free. You broke you free. You got free. You got free of it. It was like a chain around your ankle. Sometimes we don't know. I'm taking this off. I'm afraid I'm going to spray myself in the eye. I'm not cut out for this shit. I really am not. Sometimes we don't know what is dragging us down and how bad it is until we take it off, right? Until we remove it. It's a distraction. It's weight. It is preventing you from healing in a lot of ways. And now it's gone. So all of this fluidity, all of this motion, all of this movement is now there. And I think what you're really doing here is entering into a period of time where you're going against the grain. You may be getting rid of, moving past fears that you've had, some for a really long time, where you didn't necessarily know if you could or should rock the boat, be authentically yourself, go after what you genuinely want, admit to who you really are. This is coming up in your spiritual development. So this could be something like, I don't want to admit that I'm a light worker. I don't want to admit that I'm psychic. I don't want to admit that I'm a medium. I don't want to admit that I want to heal people in an unconventional way. I don't want to do that. I don't want to come out of the closet with that. I understand. But you're done. You're at the end point. It's the end of the road recently, just even within like recent days and weeks. You're at the end of the road with all of that. You also may have had an attitude, subconscious as it was, deep-rooted as it was an attitude of, I can't do this alone. Whether that be shared income, you feel like you can't be without a relationship, or a certain type of work that you were doing, okay? The government, banks, institutions, whatever. People, systems, I can't do it. I can't live the life I want without those resources. You're done. You're at the end of the road with that as well. So you're learning how to see yourself as the resource. And you're tapping in, and this is the last of the work that really needs to be done here. And you may be doing this, I heard, ferociously for the next 2 weeks. You have a lady coming in and a gentleman. I do think they were married. I don't know. They hung out a lot. There's a little space here. She's way over here. He's way over. They stay over there. They're all right. I mean, they get along. But anyways, there's talk of you sort of busting out. Feels like a set of grandparents. It feels like you're kind of busting out, and you are recognizing what it is that you have to say, who you really are. And what she wants you to do is it's almost like revel in it. Like, I want you to immerse yourself. I want you to absorb and celebrate how good it feels every time you speak your truth. You come out authentically as yourself, and you see how people respond to you. There are going to be two different things that you're starting to notice. People are kind of mesmerized by you. You have what I call the power of voice vibration. It'll show up even in your astrology. When you speak, an astrologer may say that you hypnotize people. And you have to be careful like who you date, because they literally think you put a spell on them. You didn't. You do this with everyone. So when you speak, people are forced to listen to you. They go into almost like a trance state. There's a lot of money to be made in that. But, you're also recognizing that people want more of it, okay? And opportunities are kind of coming in. Even if they're not the ones you want, they're coming in. So what we have here is a transition from an old way of life where you were kind of shrinking yourself. You were playing small. You didn't want to admit who you really were, what you really had to say, that you can do it on your own. You've embraced all this. Now we go forward. So putting yourself out there for a while, the universe is going to be testing you, giving you opportunities to do it, encouraging you to do it on your own. Even when the opportunities aren't there, you're making them yourself, right? Say what you have to say. Pick up the mic, write it down, publish it out, talk to those people. Okay, see how you're seen. Power of voice vibration. It is also your point of attack. When you have the power of voice vibration, it's also whatever your biggest power point is. Everyone has something different in their life contract. It's also your point of attack from birth. So your power point is your voice, which means your throat chakra has been shut down since birth. People have been attacking it. Okay, so do the last of the work there that you need to do in order to have this next level up. And I think the blessings that are going to be coming for that is really going to hit mostly from 5 to 7 months out from now. And then again, in a year and 2 months, it'll kind of maximize. It'll expand even more. It'll peak. And it feels like it's coming through movement. If you've been wanting to work in different places, if you've been looking at focusing more on like entrepreneurship, independent contracting, consultant work, business ownership, a side hustle, a thing like that, okay, is really what's going to be blowing up for you the most. And an increase in health, mental and emotional. Also, if you've been hanging out with people who are just like, I just want to say lazy. I mean, I don't know if they're bad, but I am hearing like from what feels like a grandfather to me, dumb. Maybe you're starting to see them as a little bit dumb. What is being dumb? What is lacking intelligence? Well, it's not growing. It's not changing. It's not learning. It's doing the same thing over and over again, right? I think the definition of like even crazy or stupidity or whatever isn't the definition like beating your head up against a wall essentially and not learning anything from it, doing the same thing on repeat over and over again without seeing any results. Okay. If you've been hanging out with people like that, this may be it. Like you may be like, okay, I'm done. Like these are no longer, my people, rightfully so. Keep clearing that out because that'll be a little while, like another year of doing that. Thank you and good luck, Delilah. We are going to move on to Marissa. Marissa, I love how you spell your name. Maryssa. Marissa. Really cute. All right, Marissa. What blessing is coming through for Marissa and when? It's like a car's coming in. It's like beep, beep, get in. It's like, get in, bitch. We're going on a vacation. It's like that meme, but it's like, I don't know, a taxi driver and he's just not going to charge you. It's like a free Uber, is a little more accurate, I think here, because it's just you. So what's interesting here is that in the recent past, I want to say the last 2 to 3 months, but I was even going to say like the last 1 to 3 weeks, you've had some opportunities where maybe you feel like you have a horseshoe up your ass, or, you're just kind of hitting the jackpot on certain things, or you're just getting kind of lucky. Sometimes we don't see it that way, but you should be. Count your blessings, see, okay? Have an attitude of gratitude. See where this is happening for you, because it is regular and it is kind of big, even if they seem like little things. But I see someone coming in with a vehicle looking like a taxi driver, New York City, yellow cab, right? The light's on. Actually, the light's off. I don't know if the light was on and then they turned it off. This is a symbol of like, I'm available for everyone. Anyone can get in this cab. But it's like the light went off. And then I see this guy saying, get in the back seat. And like, you don't have to pay. It's almost like your guides have been stepping up with you. And they've been really kind of helping you through weird circumstances or situations. Maybe you didn't think were going to work in your favor, or, you're in a tight spot that day. It's like getting lucky. It could even just be parking spots showing up at right time. You know what I mean? When you're ready to have a nervous breakdown, it's like, oh, look, I got a spot right here. Like, what the hell are the odds on that? It's your guides coming in to salvage, your sanity. So there are all these sort of off the grid benefits that have been coming in for you that are bringing you into a sort of childlike state of rest. And you can just say, okay, this person came and they're giving me a ride and I don't even have to pay for it. And they know where they're taking me. They're going to take me where I need to go. And their light is off. So no one else is getting in here. There's no chaos. It's not a rush. Things are slowing down. I'm being cared for. So if you've been feeling that, you want to acknowledge it and embrace it more. What's happening now is that you're getting ready for things to sort of amp up, speed up. And this is what you're entering into here for the next ballpark month and a half. You're going to come out of a place of a little bit of rest, and it's nose to the grind time. It is time for you to hustle, to pound it out, to do what you're supposed to be doing in regards to making changes in your lifestyle, changes with your residency, changes with your work, and boundary setting with relationships or circumstances that have been draining you. So you can't pay as much attention as you did, whether it be like social media or friends or family or a needy lover or circumstances that just don't need, right? even work situations or a boss where it's like, don't ask me for that. That's out of my pay range. Like, just no. It's a big fat no to a whole bunch of stuff you used to give to involuntarily. Okay. Like a tick, like habitually you would, without even noticing it, without even thinking about it. So you're cutting that off. You're stopping the bleeding there. Okay. This is what you need to be doing. And the blessing that comes in for you feels like a big swooping you up and moving you on to a higher level. It's kind of like winning in a video game. And then, like, I don't know where you go. The next level, no one knows unless they earned it. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm going up here. I'm going up here. So you're getting elevated. And it feels like it's hitting your entire life. So lifestyle, money, health, travel, work-related stuff, your titles, networking, all the things. And it's a general level up on your life that you will be able to, I want to say, ride for probably the next 5 years. So it's right around the bend. Okay. So take those breaths, get a little R&R wherever you can, squeeze it in, and get ready for this. If things have been feeling tough, it's because, I say new level, new devil. It's really like right before you level up, things get pretty intense. But it's supposed to be that way. Okay. It is a sign of a breakthrough right around the bend. I would also say for you, check out my free mini class here on YouTube at AskIvy the Medium called Fighting the Dark. There's a part 1 and a part 2. New level, new devil, 5 different ways you could feel as though you have blocks, obstacles, or are coming under attack as you level up. All right. This is huge. Okay. Interesting. So this is Nicole. So I don't remember reading Nicole. That may have been connected to another name, but Nicole is leaving her testimony here. And she says, I did just break up with someone a few months ago. I just created an altar. Oh, wow. I do remember this reading. Okay. I just created an altar after working through my fears, and I just started a new business. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for that testimony. That's amazing. Absolutely. You can't make this shit up. For those of you that are watching, you can't make this up. Okay. How would I know that? Why would I know that? Okay. Let's move on to Bethany Renner 5810 is just giving a little testimony here, saying, I gotta tell you, Ivy, the collective messaging is popping tonight. I didn't even submit a reading tonight, but I'm getting everything I need. There you go, a little freebie. That's interesting because Spirit hasn't said once this is the collective message for tonight, so I should have known there were a bunch of them popping out here. Maybe the whole show. Very interesting. I love that. Thank you, Bethany. So fun when that happens. And Missa K, or is that Marissa? Maybe that's Marissa. I'm not sure. Missa K is also giving a testimony, says, that's so real. Oh my God. I did just get a promotion I'll be stepping into soon. Life is exhausting though. Thank you. You're very welcome. Yes, it is exhausting. Every new level, there is a new devil. We don't get anything cheap, easy, or for free. Okay. In the human experience on earth, but it is always worth it if you keep going. So yes, get that rest for yourself, girl. Amazing. Congratulations. Love it. And she said, yes. Okay. So that was Marissa. And she said, named after her grandma, Mary, which is beautiful. And I feel like that's a little message for me because my grandma, Mary, has been around the last couple days. Oh, and as I say that, here comes Esmeralda Marie, who's sleeping right next to my grandmother's doll a few minutes ago. Are you done with your nap? You hear her? Yes. You here to say hi? You are? Good. Thank you, Mama. All right. Very cool. Very cool. Shauna Dempsey is next. Shauna Dempsey. What blessing is coming through for Shauna Dempsey and when? Money. Okay, we'll take it. Shit, yeah, we'll take it. How much money? From where? 2 different places? Jeez. Something that's like a certificate or a payout. And the other one maybe like work related, like more predictable stuff. work, money, resources coming through conventional means for you, conventional for you. Looks like a big stack of cash, and it's not huge, but they're bigger bills. So I'm going to say big stack. And coins. Coins over here, coins over here. Some of these coins are old, which can mean that you're getting old money. I would hate to say maybe it's going to be an inheritance, or maybe that's, you know what I'm saying? It happens. Okay. We don't love to receive things that way, but hey, and it doesn't have to be an inheritance where someone is even passing necessarily. It could just be that you're in line for it. It could be that something that was handed down and the passing already happened is going to be handed down again, or it's like things are being chopped up and divided in such a way where it's like not an emotional thing as much as it is like a celebratory, okay, inheritance. Some of this feels also like you inheriting a bit of a position. So this could be work related where you're able to receive the benefits of what happens when someone gets old in the workplace, they retire in the workplace, they move to another, I don't know, what are they called? I haven't had a normal job in so long. Department. Or they're fired, or they're canned, okay? Or like someone's demoted in some way. And so like openings are happening. Openings are happening here. Now there could be a few of them. So how this works out, that's up to the universe, and that's up to you. Okay, so you're going to work with the universe. You're going to figure out exactly how this goes. But it's coming. I also feel like you've got pay increase coming through that. So it's like, okay, you are, you know, able to level up significantly, especially if you just recently went for and you were intuitively told and knowing that you were supposed to get like a certification, a training, education. You're going to have upgrades there as well, okay, based on some of that. And there's a sense here of I'm hearing investment. Let's say that there's an investment opportunity coming to you after all of this. This will probably be like 5 months down the road or so. I'm getting 5 to 7. It'll go on consistently. So it's not something you have to, it's not like a trick. It's not like I have to catch this right away and invest in the right thing. It's not like the stock market or crazy, right? This is like universal investment. This is a bit of a slow unfolding, but you're going to see that you have a great investment opportunity between 5 and 7 months out from now. I don't even know if you have to take it at that time or you're just recognizing it and getting ready to make that move. But you could be taking from all of this money coming in, these benefits, and putting it into that. I would highly recommend that you do. Okay, so this isn't a guaranteed blessing because technically this one falls into your free will zone. I don't know if you'll do it or not. I don't think you've ever done anything like this. So you seem a little bit on the fence. So like, well, I need to learn more, or should I? Or like, what? And then at one point you seem to be like, I don't even care. I don't even care. I'm done thinking about this. I'm going to make this move. I'm going to make this leap. I'm going to take this calculated risk because it is only a calculated risk. And I think that, and of course I can't financially advise, but I think if you do this, you're setting yourself up very nicely for at least the next 5 to 7 years. And you could see a growth with it for 5 to 7 years, with it peaking between 5 to 7 years, and being able to invest in even more stuff at the 8th year out. Okay. It also feels like if you were thinking of like leaving, so I don't know if you're thinking of getting another residency in like a warmer climate, or you're like, I'm going to go to Italy, or it's like, I'm going to go overseas, or I'm going to look at a second citizenship or whatever. That may also be unfolding, okay? And in the way where it's coming to you at about 7 months out from now, it's being shown to you how to do it. And it peaks also at 3 months out from now. So there could be some travel opportunities coming up at about 3 months out from now. All of these are blessings. All of these are blessings. A lot of your blessings, though, I realize today are kind of falling into free will zones. Not all of them. I mean, a lot of stuff like this inheritance, these opportunities, that's just coming. But some of this is falling into free will. And so you just want to remember that I said it, and you want to mark those dates. And you want to be watching for it, because remember, the universe doesn't shout to be heard. The universe is like, here's this thing. Do you want it? Come get it. And that's it. Okay. It's kind of quiet. It's the still small voice. It's not loud. Okay. Like society, for example. Right, Mama? She's laying here like Queen Sheba, just watching this. You guys, I am going to take a quick bathroom break. Hold on a second. I will be right back. What's up, Mama? I love you. I love you. Come on. You want to come sit? You want to come sit? Okay. All right. Thank you for being patient. Let's move on to Miami Heat 305-ish is next. Miami Heat 305-ish. What blessing is coming for Miami Heat and when? When? Okay. What the heck is going on at 5 months out from now? Has to be like some collective breakthrough going on at 5 months out from now. So I don't know what's happening in the astrology at 5 months out from now. I can barely handle what's happening today. Okay. But something big has to happen at that time because this is like the 6th time the 5th month out from now has been mentioned for people. And sometimes a planet moves and like Saturn gets out of the way or something like that. And like all the blessings come through. So I don't know. Any astrologers here in the comment section, what the heck is hitting at 5 months out from now? I'm going to have to follow up with this. And you guys keep me posted. I'm going to make a note actually. 5 months astrology breakthroughs. All right. You too, Miami Heat. Here's yours. Let's see what this is all about. So Miami Heat breakthrough blessing coming in 5 months out from now. Money, money, money again. This has got to be financially related. What would that be? Venus? I don't know. I have no idea. There is, get it, mama. There is some type of work-related payout you're going to get it 5 months out from now. From what was a gradual, may have felt like you were climbing a mountain. You may have been like, okay, I am burnt out. Going up this mountain recently, and then it like plateaued, but it didn't really plateau. It just sort of leveled off in such a way where it's like, okay, I did the hard work. Now I'm at the top of the mountain. Now I'm going to ride this out. Okay. Which is kind of where you are now. Just kind of riding something out. And because of the work you did getting up that mountain, and this would have been ballpark a 5 to 8 month process, but it would have been technically a year and 2 months, maybe 3 months. You were doing this, even a year and 7 months back. You may have had a peak point with it. So it was sort of like, you know, this image of you climbing this mountain and then like taking a break, you know, and I think people do that actually, right? Mountain climbers, like, don't they sometimes just sleep there, like hanging off a mountain or whatever? Got to take a nap, got to take a snooze, you got to revive, regenerate, you know, and then you can go at it, you know, revitalized again. I think that you did well. I think that you received some insight because when you get to the top of the mountain, this would have hit you. I'm hearing 3 ago, could have been 3 weeks. I'm feeling more 3 months. Take it out, resonates. When you get to the top of the mountain, okay, you would have been able to see things from a different vantage point. You would have been able to see what other people are doing and how other people are moving. Now, they don't know you're there. It's almost like spying. And then you can get more strategic about the moves you're going to make in the future when you come down off that mountain. And you're going to be able to take them off guard. Okay, so no one sees you coming. No one knows that you know what they're doing. You see how everything and everyone is moving. So it's sort of like clarity in a lot of ways. And I think that you are also feeling accomplished. Okay, so lately, if you've been feeling accomplished, but you're not 100% sure on like where you want to put that energy, what you're really called to do, what you're supposed to be doing, I think that what you're going to have here is a big opportunity without you having to figure it out, do the legwork, work out all the details. It's going to come sort of fall into your lap. And that's amazing. Someone is giving this to you. This could be a female in a position of power. There's a lot of feminine energy here, well-balanced feminine, masculine energy with this person. So I don't want to go by gender, just feminine, masculine energy, but it's coming off as more feminine. I think that this offer is something you would never turn down in a million years, but it's very final and it's very quick. It's sort of like take it or leave it. You know what I mean? You're lucky to be offered this, and other people will take it if you don't take it. So you could sort of quickly move on this, and it can really change your life. It could become something that you do like full time, maybe not right away, but not long after. So anything you're looking to do in getting in alignment more with your life contract, your heart chakra comes up a lot in this. Channeling abilities, because I'm getting the crown. I'm also getting the third eye. Even maybe healing work, chakra work, spiritual, energetic work. I also see working with contracts. So you could be doing a lot leading up to that time with other contracts. And I have blessings coming in starting in about 2 weeks in regards to contracts being offered to you, verbal, literal. Okay, these are opportunities for you to say, I want more. I deserve more. I need to be paid more. Or I'm going after this thing, and you're getting it. You're getting them. Okay, so already this is unfolding. And it's unfolding again because you did that work already to the past. Okay. But yeah, that's the big one. I would say that's the big one at 5 months. You may feel like all of these are kind of big ones because they do all add up, certainly for you ultimately to be able to create the lifestyle you've been wanting for yourself. So if you've had like a vision board or my future life, my future self, my manifestation list, all these things, you're getting it this year. Really fun. Lots of fun. Love it. Love it. Love it. Good luck. Tammy Jones is next. Tammy Jones. Tammy Jones. What blessing is coming in? What blessing is coming in for Tammy Jones and when? Okay. It's funny because I'm not saying you just had a mental breakdown and I can't prescribe a diagnosis, of course, but like, there's this sense here of like, I've had it. Okay, I'm done. I'm cooked. It's like, I'm done. You are coming out of a period of time, okay, where you have gone away and been like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I can't live like this anymore. I can't listen to this junk anymore. I can't be part of this anymore. It's almost the opposite of what I just got from Miami Heat, where she was going, up a mountain. It's like now you're coming down off the top of the mountain. You may have gone into isolation, hibernation, whatever you want to call it, isolation in the sense that maybe you've been pulling away and creating more personal space and dealing with some emotional and mental turbulence from the world around you and circumstances within your own life and even those in your inner circle. Feeling, I heard defeated. I wasn't going to say that. Spirit said defeated. I was going to say a little depressed. I can't prescribe a diagnosis. A little depressed, downtrodden, heavy energy. But It's almost like when you went into this hibernation phase, you didn't necessarily become very introspective. And so that can create a holdup on things because it's okay. And I hate this term. I don't know why I hate it. I just hate it. I guess because I love my bed too much. But we've all heard the phrase bed rotting, which is just so gross to me. I don't know. Makes me gag. But like, let's talk about it. You know, if there was a situation, a period of time recently in your life, I'm getting two, this could have been the last 2 weeks, 2 months, where you did some bed rotting, that mentality of like, well, I'm just going to do nothing, but I kind of feel weird about it. Like I should be doing more. Okay. I would prefer to just call it rest, unapologetic caretaking. Okay. Self-care, self-love, but it's the way society sees it. Society sees it as a problem. Even giving something like rest, that disgusting label of bed rot that's gross. Like we're gross. We are. Okay. We need to improve. You know, you were battling that a little bit, that inner dialogue, that angel devil, right? Should I rest? I shouldn't rest. I need to rest. Even when you're resting, you can't rest because you should be doing this. And that could also be in taking that personal space that we talked about. So in taking that personal space, you may have been battling yourself. Well, so-and-so needs me. Well, he's over here wanting eventually, and it's more like now and over the next 3 weeks, you're reaching a place where you're like, I need to be more introspective because there were so many battles going on during that time of rest, that personal space, that it wasn't really that as much as it could have been. And we were trying, the universe was trying, spirits was trying to get you to a place of being more introspective, tapping into what you really authentically want and what's on the chop block, what you need to leave behind, what needs to be detoxed from, what you need to cut off, what you need to move away from, officially, once and for all, forever, leaving it in the past. And I think that's what you're entering into now, is more and more cutting of things, cord cutting of things, literal cutting of things. Take out the trash, throw things away, close that door, lock it, bolt it, keep moving forward, and don't let fear sink in. I think that you've gotten into a routine that's very predictable, and you've gotten into a routine where you feel very obligated, whether it's like, well, I've been investing in this person or this situation or this job, this career, this and the other, I've been investing. I can't leave that. Can you not? Are you sure? Because that's what life is. It's change, it's growth. It's supposed to be. You're coming out of it. And I think the more you're willing to do that, what you're going to see is with every decision you make to go more toward the path you genuinely want, start identifying and cutting loose, leaving these drains behind. You are going to find that you receive pretty dramatic breakthroughs every step along the way. So blessings coming to you, red lights turning green, health increasing, more happiness, mental health, energy increasing, everything vibrating at a higher level every single step along the way. With one big, I heard boom, kind of like the 4th of July, like fireworks went off, one big boom. Probably at about 7 months out from now. There could be talk of it at about 1 month out from now, and it may peak at 9 months out from now. Okay. And that feels like you being put in the spotlight, leveled up with like career, your title, being seen and heard, being in high demand. So that's going to hit your money and everything else. Beautiful. I just heard luxury. Luxury. Here comes luxury. Luxury for Tammy. Here comes luxury for Tammy. Heck yeah. Okay. Enjoy. Miami Heat 305-ish is giving a testimony here. She said, thank you, Ivy. Not my lights flickering. That's funny because mine just did too. Did you guys see that? Am I crazy? Like, you can't make this stuff up. What is going on with us tonight? We're all like on the same vibration. This is cuckoo nut. So she says, thank you. Not my lights flickering, as my lights flicker. She said, I'm actually looking into taking your Reiki class soon. Ooh, thank you. That resonates so much. Beautiful. Okay, wonderful. So yeah, for those of you who want to take Reiki, it's already shaping up to be an amazing group of people, whether you're going to be here in person, or you're going to do it online. It's in March, I think. March 14th, maybe. I'm not sure. It's up on my website. You can also get the video. It's already available. But once we do that class, that will become the new video download. So that's for masters and Reiki 1, 2, energy workers, calling all energy workers. Come on up, mama. Don't scratch me, but come on up. You want to come up? Let me get her a little cat spray here. You want to get stoned? Fun, mama. Okay, let's see what else is going on. Thank you for that testimony. Tanya Rivera left another one. She just said, thank you so much, Ivy. You're so welcome, Tanya. Good to see you always. Choking myself out. We're going to do last call. Okay, so anyone who wanted to get a reading, what blessing is coming your way? This is the last call. You're going to drop $10 donation and wait for your name to come up. Again, if this is something you want to do again or privately, later on, you can go onto my website, Ivy Rivera, psychicmedium.com, and you can get a blessing reading for yourself or gift it to someone else. A lot of people are in need at this time. The next one up is Mairead. Mairead, what blessing is coming in for Mairead and when? I heard it's already here. It's already here. It's on the way. It's already here. It's in the belly. Fire in the belly. Fire in the belly. And I saw you putting a mask on someone. I feel like I'm cheating a little bit with yours, Mairead. Mairead is an old student, and she's one of our backup producers. Putting a mask on someone can really only mean oxygen. I mean, I'm talking about an oxygen mask, okay? And I know you were looking at going back into EMT work. So this comes through originally in this blessing is like already being here. So I don't know if you signed up, but you may have. And so already the blessings are starting to flow. It feels like the minute you put pen to paper or you paid the bill or you got, you know what I mean, the certification date for your trainings or whatever it is. It feels like it's as soon as you do that. But it's coming from your root chakra. It's coming from your solar plexus. It's coming from this fire in the belly that you have for some reason been extinguishing. I feel like you've lived in a period of time. There's talk of 7. I don't think it goes back the whole 7 years, but it may. Take it out, resonates. It definitely goes back 7 months where you were putting your fire out. You were feeling disempowered. You were feeling like I should do this or I should do that, or you haven't been as creative with your work as you could be, right? Again, we're talking about the root chakra. We're talking about the solar plexus. We're talking about creativity. We're talking about fun. We're talking about enjoyment. We're talking about living life for the sake of living life. You weren't doing it because you were so under the boot on your neck of control. Like you were harshly parenting yourself, harshly talking to yourself in such a way where it was like, you don't need that, or focus on this instead, or, keep going, cracking that whip. It's like very unpleasant, honestly. I don't know that you were having a lot of fun at all. Okay. And you may have even seen that some of your blessings felt like they were coming in and then they didn't. They could have been postponed even because you started tapping into low level energies. And I talk about this with negative karma kickback, but it can also just happen with like a feeling of postponement. Like my life is on hold. My payouts are on hold. My blessings are on hold from me. Like why? It was that because you weren't being nice to yourself. So long story short, and this is coming mostly from your guardian angel who watches over your mental and emotional well-being. You also have your protector angel here who's stepped back a little bit, not saying much, but he was watching over your physical well-being for a while here. So you may have been going through a significant period of stress and detoxing that was upsetting you emotionally and mentally that starts to eventually manifest in the body. He's been protecting you and working overtime. He's stepping back now, which is beautiful. Another blessing is you're coming out of that. But, you've been doing the work. You earned it. And I feel like what we're going to see here is blessings coming in physically, mentally, like a glow up. feeling more physically attractive, you know, anything you've been doing with like the weight loss, like that just sort of melting off, that just happening, even though you're not doing a whole heck of a lot to do it. It's like metabolism increasing, energy increasing, better sleep, deeper dreams, REM, state, flow state, fire in the belly. As the fire ignites in the belly, this is you. This is you taking the boot off your own neck. This is you deciding to stop harshly parenting yourself. That inner voice that's nasty to yourself, okay? It's you deciding you're not doing that anymore, becoming kinder, more loving, and being like, what do I want to do? And it's like, as soon as it's like, what do I want to do? It's like you want to put oxygen masks on people. Now, if you are going for, and that's where the real huge blessings start to show up. If you are going for the EMT stuff, and I'm highly recommending that you do, your blessings are going to come through that work. It comes in friendships. It comes in networking. It comes in money. It comes in other payouts, other random payouts. So when I ask, like, what does that mean? It's even something, I mean, like somebody gives you hot chocolate. Okay. And I know that may sound silly, but like, if anyone's ever just given you a thank you, like some of my beautiful clients, the whole family, because I read the whole family. I read many like whole families or couples. They don't know that always, but I do. They sent me, a whole family sent me from like flowers.com. I got it on New Year's Day. You know what I mean? I opened it. It was like this big, beautiful apple and these pears I could never find locally here, and some candy and chocolate cookies, and like, and I inhaled everything. Okay. Within like a 48-hour period. It was beautiful. It was amazing. And it warmed my heart. And it may seem like, what's the big deal? And they, you know, they just said, thank you. Like the note was just like, thank you. I hope you know how much you're appreciated in this and that. And I put that up on my refrigerator, and it makes me smile every day. You know, there is something as simple as someone giving you a hot chocolate for doing a good job, or one of your coworkers being like, I see you're stressed today, you know, or you're doing EMT work and it's like, whoa, that was just a stressful situation. And someone goes and grabs something for you. Like, these people have your back. That's family. That's community. That's love. Okay. So if you've been looking for love in the wrong places too, that's love, but you have to be ready to receive it. And it's like, I see you coming into all these blessings and increasingly seeing through that work opportunities to go to, I heard exotic places. I don't know where, you'll take it where you take it, but to go to exotic places, which is really just going to symbolize like places you haven't been, interesting places, new energy, new faces, new places, new experiences. You could be having a lot of dreams of like pianos, right? New places, new faces, the symbol of new places, new faces, new experiences, pianos, music, hearing piano playing. You know, that's what that is symbolically. And I think that it's really going to be for you as where you are today. And what you probably want to hear most of this message is, yes, it's money. Yes, it's moving around, new adventures, travel, but it's loving relationships. It's friendship. It's companionship. It's great coworkers, even the ones who are nuts, because some of your coworkers will be a little nuts. I think you have to be in that field, honestly. I think sometimes to work in that same way, I mean, and you know, I mean, and I'm one too, working in this, like, you have to be a little crazy to do this kind of work. You have to. So they're a little wild, and I think it's entertaining. Okay, so relationships looking sweet, along with everything else here. Love the increase in your health too. Okay, another testimony coming in here from Spicy Horse, who is Tammy. So Tammy, who I read a few minutes ago. So Tammy says, this is Tammy. Thank you for sharing the message. It is 100% right. The details are messy, so I will spare you those. Sweet. Okay, I bet. But thank you again for the confirmation. You are so welcome. Enjoy your blessings. And as he's getting in on that message, right, Mama? Okay. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Are we at last call? Do we have any more? Okay, we are at time. Diana, can you pop up, or like, what do we have coming up next? When's the next time we'll be here? Actually, I think I know. Isn't it Sunday for the Q&A for the psychic mediumship course? Hi, did we do mine? Mairead said, did we do mine? Mairead, I literally just did yours. Yeah, you missed it. But you could watch the replay here on YouTube. Okay. And I will repost it as long as it took here on Instagram. I'll repost it TikTok won't let me do that, but I'll make sure I post for you. Okay. Yes, it is this Sunday. Okay, so I will see you guys back here. The next thing I'll be doing is the live Q&A for the psychic mediumship course. I'm going to go live on all these platforms 9 p.m. Eastern Sunday evening, and you guys can get your early questions in now. I am collecting them already, or just tune in and drop them during that time. I'm going to be talking about the 28-week curriculum. This is not a gift. This is an innate ability everyone has. It's just been blocked. Thank you for societal pressures that have done that to us. So I hope you remove those blocks, bring you back to where you were with your intuition, like when you were a kid, and increase it. Okay. So you're going to learn about the curriculum for the 28-week psychic mediumship course. And I'm going to take all of your questions. If you have not already done so, go ahead and register. Seats are filling fast. And this is the only one I'm teaching in 2026. You can do that on my website, Ivy Rivera, psychicmedium.com. And I am about to pull the raffle. Whoever won a free seat to the psychic mediumship course is getting pulled at midnight. So if you didn't get your tickets, go onto the website and grab them now. And I will see you guys back here Sunday. Thank you, Diana. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thank you so much, Spirit. God bless.